Good morning. I'm happy that, excuse me, I'm happy that you have joined me today. I wanted to catch you up on what I have been up to. Over 3 years ago, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, my YouTube Visiting with You, whom I missed terribly through the years, and was only able to do spotty videoing. But maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, I think when I was lying down for a nap, I call it my foresies, I think I heard my mother say to me in my mind, "Well, Carol, where are you going with this? Is this it? I hope not." And that would have been about what my mother would have said to me if she was looking me in the eye. So, I seem to have a change. I seem to feel better, I seem to be more motivated, more interested, etc. And one of the things that were in my heart and just almost breaking it was the condition and the fact that my studio, which is, as I've told you before, for those of you who are new, is the third bedroom, the smallest one. And I knew that it was dusty and I had forgotten what was where and where was what, and it was just terrible. So I have taken the best part of the last 4 days cleaning and touching everything. My fingers have been on everything. I now know, again, where things are, what they are. I also decided to take the initiative and eliminate a lot of the things that I had accumulated while I was learning. Of course, I started out with the concept of mixed media, and that evolved, and then that went to watercolor and so forth, and that evolved, etc., and then journaling hit, and it was as though my world opened up like a flower. And so my husband put a table up outside, and we have a group for our subdivision, and stated that what I had to offer. And 15 minutes before the opening time, I had standing here in front of me an art student, and here in front of me an art teacher. Well, needless to say, everything was cleared out in 15 minutes. I was so happy that it was going somewhere that it would be appreciated, particularly to the teacher, having been one myself for 37 years. And then I realized that I had, in our cleanup, I had not been sure of how I wanted to deal with it, but I had one of those huge 2 by 3 foot watercolor paper tablets, and I asked her if she could use it, and she said, "Oh, yes." So I came in, made the trip, said this is going to a good home, and then started the cleanup. Now my husband helped me with the heavier things, the things that I needed to take down so that I could dust and look at and so forth, because I am limited by the very tips of my fingers are an ongoing problem, and one that I might have to just learn to live with. But he was a great help, and on the first day, I forgot that I wasn't the Carol of 4 or 5 years ago. And I just twisted around and did something, and whoops, left side of my back. But thank God, I said, thank heavens it was just the left side, which is all right. But my shoulders and stuff, I'm not. After 3 years of recuperating from the chemo, which cured me, but almost killed me, let's be honest. I mean, it was. And so I persevered, and I finished up yesterday. And here I am with you to share some things that I found. Now, vaguely, I guess, somewhere in my memory banks, I remembered these things, but there they were up on the top, over there. There they were on the top of my maybe 7-foot tall shelves. And I said, well, I don't think a lot of you who are new to me in the last, well, I have 787 videos, so I thought maybe like, the last 200. I don't think I've shown these, but I thought some of you might like to see exactly what can happen when you combine mixed media and collage, and how you can tell stories with collage. This would be a fine example. I believe the date in most of this, if there is one, is this is 2016. I was just learning, trying things, experimenting, and having, as you can tell, great fun. So, this is the first one that I'm going to share with you today. We'll see how we do with time. This is watercolor paper turned into a book, and I cut up the edges of the pages to make it more interesting. And this is one of my, I drew this flower years ago and made it into a stencil, but so I went around it in pencil, and then used my handy dandy knife and cut this out so I'm a great lover in seeing through to the next page. Who knows why? So as you can see, we have some stenciling, we have some doodling around some of the stencils, we have some, this is a complete doodle, this is a complete carol, and so that was the cover, and then we go on to here, and I believe these are napkins. And more stenciling, my favorite stencil. And before I go on, I want to tell you the happiest, most wonderful thing happened. I want to share, because I can't tell you what it means to me to have found this. Buried in a drawer, on the wall, high up. I had been telling you that I was getting to the bottom of my Joe Sonia, my very, very, very favorite gold, which is all of that, and every place you see gold, it'll be Joe Sonia. I purchased these years ago, maybe 20, and I know I purchased probably 5 or 6 of them, and I was getting to the bottom of one, and here are two more. I just don't know how to say how finding them made me the happiest girl in the world. And you who do the same things I do understand that idea. This one, I did I drew on some leaves and doodled them, and then cut them out on the edges. And here, I wanted to try, I used so much gold, I wanted to try some gray paint and some silver. And these are, I can feel them, these are again napkins. I didn't do, yes, I did, worked on the end of that page. I drew these on and doodled because I thought it would be fun to try and see what would happen with silver for a change, and I was quite happy that I did. Now this next page is collage. And this, I believe, is crepas. I know there's a new and correct word for that, but that's what it is, and we have some collaging. I'm starting to get into using collage, real collage, and I don't remember what this is, but that's why I had to put this on it, because I didn't want it to stick. But here again, we have a combination of various media. So my heart was still involved in mixing media. And this one, I wanted to do something completely different. And all of these are my flowers and my Joe Sonia gold. Let's see, can you see it? There it is. This is the light that shows it. I'll remember that. And some watercolor stenciling in the background. That makes me happy. I don't know why it does. Probably because there's Joe Sonia gold on it. What's at the back? Oh, something completely different. This was a little bit before Christmas in 2016. I wanted to do a black background. Now I have a feeling that I put that background on after. Now these are my stencils. I cut them out of a manila folder, and I still have them and I still use them. So, and I decided for some reason I wanted to try stripes, and I wanted to try the Joe Sonia gold here in my stripes, and this watercolor, yes, and gold flowers. And as you can see, I was making myself happy while learning. And I don't know what the back is. The back is that. The back is that. Carol, I think this was a stencil. Carol's stencil. So, and my the Japanese silk embroidery for hand sewing the center. Yeah, right there. Hand sewing the center. And so, here's one that I'm going to share because I thought you might enjoy seeing the evolution. And so we'll put this one over here. And then this one. This is a stencil. Stencils. Lots of stenciling on here. Yes. And the date on this one is 5/2016. But this is what I was starting to do with one large piece of watercolored paper. And this one was 5/16, and this is 6/16. Napkins again. A large stencil. More stenciling. More Joe Sonia gold. This is a double spread. This was one that I guess the colors were a little too bold for me. I'm not completely in love with this one, but it's a learning experience. And then you open this up and fold this over, and you get a 4-tier one. I wanted to try a biggie. Let me put this up right side up. I wanted to try a biggie. And this is iridescent paint. I believe it was from Target. Lots of use of stenciling on the background. This vine is a stencil, and that is a black-green paint if ever I saw one for the leaves. And lots of doodling, and these individual guys are stamps with some black on it. Oh my, yes. So this was this experience, and it was great fun doing. You see the you can see the iridescence on it if I hold it, if I catch it correctly in the light. Oh, what's back here? Oh yeah. Yes. Now, you saw this front one. This is the back one. This is all my doodling and my sketching of flowers. And then there's this one, which is supposed to be the cover, and is the cover. She is collaged, and she's collaged here, and some up here, a little bit here, and the rest is having fun with Ceramcoat acrylic paints. Little tiny bit of stenciling here and here, but the rest of it is Carol playing. She's very mysterious, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing her. And so it folds. It's one big piece of that 32 by 3 foot paper folded, watercolor paper folded, and it becomes a book. And at the same time, glue books were all the rage, and I couldn't resist. And this is one half of a magazine, that I took to Office Max and had them chop it in half. And they even were so nice as to put holes here. And this is some of my faux sari. And here I started getting into really and truly studying collage stories. Another combination of this is my Carol made stamp. This is one of my stamps. This is one of my stamps. This is a commercial stamp. What's on the back? A continuation of a combination of my stamps and other ones. And this is I can't tell what it is. It seems so flat, but with my fingers, I'm doing well, better with my fingers. I'll never be right, but I'm doing well, and I can't tell. It might be just a piece of paper that's there. I don't know. I don't remember. So, let's see. Okay, we'll just turn it like this. More collaging of old music paper, my stamp, other stamps, doodling. This was in September 2017. I just couldn't resist using those. Artful layering. I mean, you just can't explain collage in any other way as far as I'm concerned. So, this is major collaging, telling a story, making a bug, making a heart with papers cut out of, probably cut out of this magazine that was chopped, and the way we keep our papers, if some of us do. I actually have gotten a hold on neatness because of the major cleanup I've had, so that could be. Let me see if there's one in there. No. I loved this one. I remember it was in one of the magazines about art and journaling and so forth. And this is a major cutout. Carol stamps, a butterfly, a butterfly stamp. But this one, and this one, I tried to keep them, my pages different, because after all I was experimenting and learning, and I thought all of these pieces of collage worked together, and the rest of it is paintings and with my doodling on top, and much doodling. I love to do these things. I just adore doing those things. Let's see if there's one that I missed in here. No, I don't think so. The two girls. Listen to your inner voice. I found her very pretty, and I love her. So here they were, and they're the focals, and then I just had fun. So there's 1, 2, 3 pieces of collage paper on here, and the rest is playing, pure playing. This is a piece of collage, this is collage, this is collage, and this is collage. The rest is Carol using her mixed media to paint and add to the story. Oh my. Oh my, I don't remember doing this, but this is a busy girl. And for the first time, I added a little bit of brown. I think my grandmother would have called this color puce, which is brownish red. And this is the collage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what to think of that one. It was fun. Must have been fun doing. My favorite things: books, art pencils. This is August 2017. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of collage, and lots of strong stuff and strong colors and The letters were on a piece, so there's 6 pieces. Yes, 6 pieces of collage there. Oh, never stop exploring. Oh my. I did this page because of this raspberry. Loved it. It was a focal on a page in a magazine. And I thought, now what can I do with that? Because I don't do too much red and purple, but here we are. Red and purple. And black over here. To play off of this. And here's a complete change. And the titles in this book were so wonderful for this job. This is a feather stencil that I hardly ever use. Here's a large building. These flowers are from the book. They are. This is. And here again, the use of my favorite brown. I think that's Mississippi. That might be Mississippi mud. And a notebook of the era. Western United States. Train. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my. And because of the darkness of the train, I went with making a building from my mind and some stenciling, flower and leaf stenciling and not stenciling, I'm sorry, these are original doodle flowers all over the top. Just to tell a collage story. And I think of everything I do. In this room, collage storytelling is a fave. I think this is the one. This is the collage story that I love doing. This whole piece here was from I think it was from a Victorian magazine. This tree, I just could not resist. And I added some branches, painted them in up here and so forth, and I painted in some leaves and used some stencils, and this just did it for me. Stenciling, I did my sky. Here is an example of what I told you about the 2 colors of Ceramcoat making the most beautiful possible sky. Love making this and still love looking at it. Getting to the end now, and we have this piece of blue. These are blue metal pots. I turned them into pots for flowers, put the flowers in them, and there was something about this wagon. I found some stones. I cut out some stones area. I cut out the wagon, left some white around so it would show the difference between the wheels and the stones. And I have some stenciling in here, and it wasn't large enough, so I added some flowers. And as you can see here, stenciling on the background. But collage stories. This is the one that told me that I was out of elementary school with stenciling, with collaging. Sorry, I must have a little bit of hydration. This is from my collage collection. Paper from many, many places. This is a piece. This is a piece. Some of this is a piece right here. The pathway is part of a large piece of paper that I cut. The trees were there. Okay. Then over here, this ends right here. The collage ends right here, and I made this to work with this. The large piece of collage. I added green ceramic coat and white paint. This was part of another piece of paper. These trees right here were a piece of collage, and so was this. But I added, and the picket fence was on it. But this was not. All of this, I told my store, I had a story to tell, so I added the paint, the white flowers here, the greenery, I hope you can see it. Yes, I think so. The greenery, some greenery up here to break up the juniper hedges, and I put in a sky and a mountain behind it, and then doodled on the picket fence. And over here, the pot had some greenery in it, topiary in it, and I doodled on top of it. And all of this is doodling on these. I added white paint here to exaggerate these little tiny flowers that were here. And here I decided I didn't want more white because there's so much over here. So I tapped on a bit of pink paint. Now the tree, this branch had just went off into branches, and I tapped on with my finger. I finger painted these. Okay, and I finger painted this and this green, and then did some colorful doodling. This was a real combination of what can be done for just relaxing enjoyment with pieces of things that you've cut from magazines, and what you can make of various bits that you have. If you put them together and add to them, and finish the page, in other words, to try to make it coherent. This was in a magazine. I'm not sure whether that's a stencil or a carol. I think it's a carol. And these 3 birdies I cut out, plunked them here because I thought they went with this building. Could be a home, could be who knows. A pretty window basket, love them. And this, this one is definitely a stencil. And I added the grays and the touch of gold, and this is that's a small stencil, and these are tiny ones. And I've discovered them. I found them. So, I don't know why they have these flowers on them, but they do, and I think it tells the story. I have a little of that color over here, so I brought out a little of the cover over here. All of the things that one learns by doing along the way. New passion. My, yes. Definitely new passion. This is the back cover. I can feel it. These are collage bits. This is all, and these, and the leaves are mine, and my stencil, and here's my, I did that one, and here is, this comes from, these flowers come from a magazine. These are probably stencils. This is my stamp, etc. This is how you make it your own. And this is September 2017. And the back. And I have a few more. I'll share them with you. I do hope, oh, look at that, 2017, right there. I do hope that you have enjoyed my memory lane, because I was definitely on memory lane with you today, but I thought you might enjoy a relaxing look at a person who developed a complete love, a total love for collaging and the things that can be done, the stories that can be told with things that you cut out of old magazines, new magazines, after you've finished with them, whatever. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you are well. I hope you enjoyed this time with me. If you have, I would appreciate a thumbs up. I would love it if you would leave a comment, and I do answer them. And I would certainly be very happy if you would subscribe to my channel. Bye now. See you soon.